dragon claw, wing and scale. Come now, let's examine a tale of the greatest beast ever considered. Another episode of Big Flying Lizards.
Welcome to Big Flying Lizards, a dragon movie and television podcast. I am your host, Bryce Wilson, and I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Snyder.
Yes!
Austin Snyder.
What's up, everybody?
What is up? We have ourselves a chaos episode. We've got dogs. We've got more dogs.
A dog's roaming loose in the studio. The cable situation, let's just be glad that it's not documented as far as like OSHA compliance and all of that. Like, you're probably there, but I don't know.
Austin, I don't think people would be surprised if they could see behind the camera. Some of them might be like, oh my God. And others be like, I expected that.
The energy you bring to your dialogue, to your conversations, it really does match your production style in a lot of ways. And I mean that with love entirely.
Of course. What else would it be?
There's just like kind of a no holds bar. We're going to get it done quality.
Indeed.
To the whole approach.
Well, speaking of getting it done.
Right.
Austin, what are we doing today?
Today, well, it's your show, but as I understand it, we're going to be talking about the best of dragon media from the year 2025.
You know, absolutely. And you know, why not just throw a little chaos in asking you about this? But you're absolutely right. We are here. It is New Year's Eve, and we are going to be just talking about reminiscing on 2025. We're going to be talking about the best dragon movie. We're going to be talking about, here's the thing. I only played one video game that's brand new that has dragons in it officially. So I'm thinking we might as well just talk about maybe the best games we played that came out in 2020. I know the list is extensive on your end.
Right. We can cross that bridge when we get there. But I figure this is kind of a relaxed fit. Like, we'll just kind of celebrate the year that was. Overall, I would say pretty strong year for this lens of dragon media, certainly in regards to film, which is more my area of expertise. But I'm just going to follow your lead on this and it for the lulz.
And I'm going to actually put a little homework on your table while you're doing this, because maybe I should have told you this when I was looking it up, but I was selfish. Apparently you did not. I obviously have my top 3 favorite songs of 2025, but ironically enough, like, I would put these songs pretty high up, how it is, but I am actually not going to say my top 3 songs of 2025, but rather my top 3 streamed songs on Spotify that came out in 2025.
Okay.
So if you want to be looking and seeing at what the top 3 songs that came out, because I did have to dig, because there was a lot of songs I listened that came out in 2024. There was a lot of songs that came out in 2023. I did find my top 3 songs of 2025 according to Spotify, and those will come up eventually.
Right. And we'll find out if there are any dragons involved.
You know, they have big dragon energy.
Yes. See, I know generally what they're going to be, because I know that your top streams all were kind of relating to one particular project.
That project came out in 2024.
Oh, okay. So you're not counting that as most streamed of the 2025 year. Interesting.
No, it's the most streamed in the 2025 year that came out in 2025.
Yes, I follow.
So a little thing that's on there. But I just want to kick us off real quick, because it's probably the subject that will have, I mean, maybe the least amount of weight and levity to it, and just talk about our top games that possibly had dragons and in some cases didn't have dragons that came out in 2025. And for me, there was really only 2 games that came out in 2025, and one has significantly more played hours in it than the other. The first game that I'm going to be bringing up that is a dragon video game is Monster Hunter Wilds.
Hell yeah.
Now, I think we're going to be having some I think this is the conversation where we're going to be. I said before the stream that my goal for this episode is to be screaming at one point in this. And this might be the conversation that actually doesn't get me screaming, but gets Austin screaming. So
You may try.
I'm
a mellow fellow.
I do not like the Monster Hunter series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit of a knife.
Yeah. I love the art style. I do love the concept behind it, but the fighting style of it just seems so chaotic. It's not like Elden Ring where it's very difficult, but it seems to have no rhyme or reason. Like you seem to
There is a chaos to playing Monster Hunter.
Yes, and I don't like that. I like there to be some form of structure because it feels like, especially in the beginning of the game, and I'm sure there is in a sense to it, but like as you get, it always feels like you're in the tutorial because you're literally just doing 12 million strikes on a monster and it won't die and it just keeps wandering around and you're like, am I actually doing damage? And it doesn't have the health bar either. So you can't see what's going on or like how close it is. And now I understand that you have to attack specific spots in specific areas, but I think one area that would greatly improve the game and make my enjoyment of it go that much higher is if they just included a health bar for the monsters, because there's literally just
See, but then I think that part of the appeal is sort of a slot machine aspect for fans of the franchise. And I'm not a huge gamer, and that's going to become quickly apparent in this conversation. But I have enjoyed the Monster Hunter games throughout the years, and I appreciate they are maybe not the sturdiest or most logical fighting games as far as like fighting these big bad monsters, lizards, trolls, etc. But they have their own style that I think is a welcome flavor in that kind of thing. From what I've heard, this newest edition is fairly true to the spirit of the franchise. Maybe it might just not be your thing.
And that's the thing, like
I love the hunter aspect is what I'll say, because I think that it really communicates that as like you're actually like really working to slay this beast.
To be fair, I've only played 2 of these Monster Hunter games. Monster Hunter Wilds is very acclaimed, and our friends Nick and Sammy, they love Monster Hunter Wilds, and they actually played it for a good chunk of 2025. They are much avid gamers than we are, but I will say this, like I agree, like visually beautiful game, amazing game. I love how they get the giant, massive weapons that you can fight with. I love that you can go ahead and just tear shit up in the game. Like, but I don't like that you really can't, like, even with the amount of graphics that are had, you'd think that you'd be able to at least see if the monster was like beat up. And sure, there's times when it starts to limp and it starts to like, maybe an indication that it's like slowing down. I would much rather like you see chunks of flesh just sloughing off of it, or like something. Cause like I get where you're coming from, where you're saying like you like that chaos of it and you're just really having to really go off of the hunter aspect. And so, and as the hunter, you don't exactly have a good understandings like you might in Elden Ring when fighting something. But there needs to be some sort of indication on your progress on fighting it. And maybe I just didn't give it enough of a try, but like it just really got to me. It felt like I was doing something wrong. And like Elden Ring is a significantly harder game, but I enjoyed it so much more because it at least like it was gratifying in the areas that it was meant to be gratifying, if that makes sense.
Sure. And it's hard to argue, like, if the standard you're holding this up against is Elden Ring, I think that most of what came out this year is going to fall short.
Well, and I'm not even saying like, I think the battle mechanics of Elden Ring is,
well, they're so sturdy. That's the best part of that game.
yes, it's very straightforward. It's, some people hate that style, but I think at the end of the day, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, those people are usually just, you know, they're not good at the game.
Well, here,
but I could turn that one around on your side. Did you even slay the Rathalos?
What's the Rathalos?
It's like the red dragon. Like, it's like the main most famous monster from it. You know what I'm talking?
In Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Okay, well, with a grain of salt then.
No. I mean, like, again, like I would have gotten into it so much more if it would have given me the chance to at least have some sort of indication on how I'm doing, because it's hard for me to track my own progress in the game in that sort of way, because otherwise it almost feels like, again, just how it is in the tutorial when you're learning how to fight the monsters. Like, you know how the monster won't actually kill you, like you'll be like it feels very much like Kid Gloves, the game. And I'd much rather just get my ass beat than be patronized by a game, if that makes sense.
Sure, I get you. And there is something to, like, if you're really drawn to like an Elden Ring, that's a game that I think is almost self-consciously like adult and dark. And in my experience, the Monster Hunter series has been a lot more geared toward a younger crowd,
Yes.
a younger gamer. Like, I really came to it on the Wii with Monster Hunter Tri. So that says a lot about who this game is for in the first place.
I think that you're hitting the nail on the head there. But I mean, is there anything else that you want to talk about, at least Monster Hunter wise?
No, not really. And then, I mean, the only game that came out in 2025 that I gave some serious time to would be Civilization VII, which I'm mixed experience with. I still have hope that it can be a great game, but we're in the process of that. And really doesn't have much to do with big flying lizards of any sort.
Unless you play as China. They have a dragon symbol. And there's also like, oh, what is the mount? There's a certain mount
for the Chinese.
Great Wonder.
So I'll just say that we're big Civ 5 fans, and we've been known to get around to that in from time to time, even this many years on. Civ 6 was cool. I don't really think that, like, they took it in a new direction, which I'm glad to see, because in a lot of ways, Civ 5 kind of felt like the concept perfected. But this 7 seems to be sort of extrapolating from that direction. There's been some aspects that the community has really not reacted well to, that they've kind of tried to backtrack. It just doesn't really feel like it's a game that's settled into itself yet anyway. So I don't know what I'm trying to come down with an opinion on it.
No, I think that's actually a really great jumping off point, because I actually did stream a few games this last year. So the audience knows that I play a little bit of Civ 7. And real quick, the Great Wonder that I was talking about is the Serpent's Mound. Specifically, it's just a mound that's supposed to look like a giant snake. It is, I don't know where it is in real life, but it is
I can give that one a quick Google.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right
now. The Serpent's Mound. The Google AI says it is a surviving prehistoric effigy mound, the largest in the world, in fact. It is in Adams County, Ohio.
Shout out to Ohio.
Shout out Ohio.
That's the only time you ever hear this on the podcast.
Great people in Ohio.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Jake Paul.
Weathered the storm.
Logan Paul.
That's two people right there.
That's the best of Ohio has to offer right there. Dubs up from Ohio, just in the chat there.
For real though, shout out Ohio.
Well, and again, just going back, something that I really actually quite enjoyed about the Civ 7. And again, if you're not into Civilization, there's going to be time codes and you can skip on to the more interesting, but I could talk about Civ for a while here. What I really liked is they actually divided the game up into 3 parts, where it's like sort of the Bronze Age, the Gunpowder Age, and then the Modern Age, essentially. And as you're adapting in there, you have your main leader that you get to play as, but you can shift which civs that you actually get to be. Either A, they are in the historical tree that your leader came from the very beginning, or B, by unlocking specific accomplishments in the age before, which I actually, the more and more I played it, the more and more I enjoyed that aspect. So it added like extra little missions that you could go for, because there's some of these civs that, like, I'm going to say this first and then continue. Civ 7 is the Risk legacy of the Civilization games, because every single game of Civ 7 you played affects every single game you played there on out.
Yeah, I see how it has that carryover, and you get rewarded for playing as the same leader time after time, or civilization time after time. Like, you get points that give you like special power-ups and privileges. You're definitely deeper into it than I am, so I'll defer to you to further opinions.
No, and I was also playing hours and hours. Like, Civ 7 might be the game I played the most this year. However, there was an update that they did that just really turned me off to Civ 7, and it feels lazy more than anything else, which is weird because it had so much more involved to begin with. And again, in Civ 7, you have luxury resources that you can use and utilize. And in past Civs, it just makes your people happier. Like, that's really all its purpose. Some might give you a coin bonus, some might give you like a food bonus, but for the most part, it's primarily just to increase your happiness in the game.
And I just got to say on that I always found it amusing that the amount is the same regardless of the luxury resource.
Yes.
So your people are like, oh, we just got salt. That's a pretty big one. And like, they compare that to the same as truffles. Oh man, that's a game changer, right?
Game fucking changer. But again, that's what I really liked about Civ 7 is each one of the luxury resources had a unique and special ability that once you unlocked it or mined it or extracted it, it would give you a special ability. For example, gold would make it so buildings would cost less if you tried to build them. Silver made it so that troops cost less if you went to buy them. Rubies gave you an extra +4 gold.
Love it.
And so on and so forth. Like, I think like incense gave you +2 culture, +2 science, which that one's interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
explain that one. Open your mind
for the music and for the
they're
science.
smoking the incense.
I don't know what they're doing about Civilization,
Goodness.
but that's something I really enjoyed that they did is they made it so each luxury resource had a unique aspect to it. And then there was an update that happened and it made it like, okay, all of the rare earth materials are +2 happiness and +2 gold. All of the food is +2 culture and +2 food. And it just
and that's so against the spirit of Civilization, which is all about specificity and the little details in your strategy sort of adding up over time. To reduce all of this variety that you had, the different options with those into a few different categories is really against the spirit of it. But again, hopefully they bring it to finish, like bring it to the finish line, like all like, and actually complete a real solid game.
Yeah, and on that note, like you said, they really are known for their specificity, but also on top of that, I feel like Civ's one of the few games that like actively builds on itself. Rather, this seems like it's taking a step back rather than making steps forward.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about more than anything.
Yeah, and I don't know. Well, Austin, this might be a really short conversation here, but are there any games in 2026 that could include a dragon, might include a dragon, will include a dragon that you've got your eyes coming out? I know we're not really that big of gamers and we don't really have that much time to be gaming, but is there anything calling to you? But
nothing on the horizon right now. I'm sure there's something out there. I'm just not keyed in enough to know. What about yourself?
Well, here's the thing. I hear rumblings. I hear tremors of an Elder Scrolls.
Could it be
6?
See, you say this. I've been waiting.
Hey, I mean,
fool me once, shame on you.
Here. I saw something this last week that they're getting ready. So let's see here.
They've been getting ready.
Elder Scrolls, first thing that pops up. Go to news.
I don't know about this, Bryce. It's such a big game. I mean, it's one of the most anticipated of all time.
It really is. I really think the only game that's more anticipated than this is the new Grand Theft Auto game. Which,
I'd agree.
Another controversial take is I don't care about Grand Theft Auto. Like, never have, probably never will. Like, I appreciate what it does for the gaming world and the amount of technology that comes out of it just to be like developing and making it like I know it gets utilized for a lot of other areas, but I just have never enjoyed it. Like I went over to my friend's house when I was younger and played it, and I'm just like, this is stupid.
Now,
Like-
okay, now I'm not really the one to ride to Grand Theft Auto's aid because it's never really been my thing either. But all due respect, like it's a pretty amazing game, and I'm sure that the 6th entry will just be next level.
Again, like I'm not,
especially with like open world games or like the whole rage for the last while here. So it
Yes.
seems like it's like the king come back to reclaim its throne.
Well, and again, like this is where I really differentiate from a lot of my fellow millennials. And I think this is mainly just a millennial thing. I would much rather do a fantasy or a sci-fi open world game
Than a modern
game. Like,
oh, interesting.
like there's nothing exciting. Like, again, I know the whole idea is like, oh, I can go steal a car. I can go do this. And I'm just like, you're telling me that there's a game that you could go and if you wanted to, you could drive the speed limit, you could drive like you have to deal with traffic in this game. Like, what are we talking about?
It's too much a reflection of our reality.
Exactly.
You're like, it's worth that you've just created real life. I don't have to pay for Xbox Live to do that one.
Exactly. Now, real quick, Elder Scrolls 6 release date estimate. The Elder Scrolls 6 release date is expected to arrive in 2026 at the earliest for the PC, Xbox Series XS, according to lawyers representing Microsoft during Microsoft versus FTC hearings, official court documents from the case.
This is what fools believe.
Hey, it's in court. Lawyers.
I'll see you all in 2032.
Now this game got announced. This other game, I'm really excited. Again, if it does come out, it is going to be like, it's going to be one of the biggest games. Like
Minecraft 2?
No, it's not going to be Minecraft 2. But if it does come out the same year that the new Grand Theft Auto comes out, that is ballsy.
What are we talking about?
Elder Scrolls.
Okay, I thought you were introducing a new
no.
A new challenger. But those two, that's, as we say, probably the two most anticipated games yet to come out.
But I do think that more people would get the new Grand Theft Auto game. Like, I don't think that unless it's just, it would take.
Well, we were peeping it just the other day. Grand Theft Auto 5 is like the second most sold game of all time.
Yes.
So that sets a precedent.
Like, I will say it's possible for it to really shit the bed because I know Cyberpunk 2047, that I think it's 2047, the Cyberpunk game.
2077.
Yeah, that one. I know that it really was, everyone was saying, this is it. This is the next big thing. Like, this game is going to be huge. And then they were just so pressured to make it come out that they rushed it, and there were so many bugs and there were so many issues. And
I was so pleased to subvert all of that because the drama was unreal from the outside.
It very much gave Fire Festival vibes.
Yes, but just happening nationwide in living rooms across this great country and the world even.
But I was also just like, fuck you, I'm not involved. But shifting gears, this is the game that this game is not going to be game of the year, but it will be game of the year for me if it comes out this year. But there's a good chance it's going to come out in 2027, but it may. But that's going to be Total War Warhammer 40K.
Of course.
Like, that is going, like, how much, like, I know you haven't played Total War Warhammer yet, but
I haven't let it into my life yet.
You haven't let it consume you.
It's like the same. It's like saying I haven't tried heroin yet. Like, I have a feeling that it would probably take over. I'm concerned.
It very will. Like,
not to diminish how much I think I would enjoy it.
Well, here's the thing. Like, yes, you get into the domination portion of Civ, but Total War is essentially just domination. Like, it's Civilization, but you're only going for a domination victory. And you can actually go in and tactically control your troops on the battlefield. Like, there's people that study war like strategies and have them in actual.
Yeah, it kind of has the Age of Empires thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can build up just massive armies. And the thing that people are really excited about this one is it's going to be interplanet. Like, you're able to go to different planets. And I mean, as far as it comes to strategy games, this has the potential to be the greatest strategy game of all time, in my opinion.
I hope it is.
and it's probably going to be like $150.
Ooh.
And it's probably going to take up at least half of the storage space on my laptop.
They measure them in T's, not G's anymore.
Uh-huh. But is there anything else that we want to talk about video game wise, or you think it's
I mean, we have gone well beyond what I felt prepared for, so I'll leave it to you.
Excellent. Well, before we get to the real meat and potatoes of this conversation, we're going to do something a little fun on it.
Oh, no.
Are you curious, Austin, what, according to Spotify, my top 3 songs of 2025 are?
Yeah, hit me with it.
I want to see. Do you want to take a guess on it? Like, I'd actually be really surprised if you're able to guess it.
Is it the again 2025 releases?
2025 releases.
And these are, can you give me the genre of music?
2 are rock and 1 is hip hop.
Are they by the group Sleep Token? No.
Sleep Token did not make this list.
Losers. Hip hop that came out this year. It's not a clip song, is it? The hip hop song?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, it's not a Tyler the Creator song.
No, it's not.
You might just have to hit me with it then.
All right. So my number 3 song of 2025 is a rock song, Static by Sleep Theory.
Not Token, Sleep Theory. Yeah, I was right there. I was right there.
You were half right. Number 2, and this is the hip hop or whatever you'd really want to call it. It's Red Eye by Darcy.
Okay. I wasn't going to get that.
And then my number 1 song that came out in 2025 and it's a rock song is Shallow by Magnolia Park.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can't say that I'm that familiar. Is that a hit and I'm just a big dummy here?
It's TikTok famous.
Aha. Yes. And I am old.
And you are old.
And unaware, tunnel vision.
Now, I gave you homework, if you recall, at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh?
What are your top 3 songs?
I could do it. They came out this year. Nothing to do with dragons at all. My favorite song that came out this year is the song Pieces of a Dream by rapper Mike. Mike, all caps. That's just a really powerful song to me. But it's not really like a fun, get the club going kind of jam. His stuff is like if you like Earl Sweatshirt, sort of that artsy, like subdued, sad rap. So that would be my favorite song. And then the song I Like Your Look by Kim Petras. Then my third would be, I'm going to say Abracadabra by Lady Gaga.
I have heard that song so many times this year.
Me too. And even there, I'd say overplayed as hell, but I think that one is one of her best, which is really saying something. And I think it's going to stand the test of time.
I mean, if the drag brunches that I ran,
I think that is a 2025 timestamp in a good way.
Well, speaking of 2025 timestamps, there are 4 movies on this list that I have decided to have us discuss, 2 of which we both have seen, and then 1 each we've seen that the other hasn't. So I'm going to actually have us start off by talking about the ones that we haven't seen and almost like trying to, I don't want to even say like just explaining it to the other as if like on what they should expect and also why they should or shouldn't go and see. Now, if it's all right with you, Austin, I would love to introduce the film that I believe that I have seen that you have not seen. That isn't
the dragon film.
Well, I wouldn't say it's the dragon. I mean, a lot of people will consider.
I mean, do we just want to start there? Okay. That I feel like is the question hanging over this entire conversation: is what is the dragon film of 2025? But we can circle back.
That's what we're going to close on.
Sure.
That's what's going to
naturally. Okay. What was I thinking?
So the movie that I've seen that I think the general public will say is the dragon movie of 2025, I disagree, but you'll hear why, is How to Train Your Dragon, the live action film.
Of course.
And if I understand it correctly, you did not see this.
No, I ran away. And I think that I largely agree with you in just feeling that it was pretty unnecessary.
Yes.
And a movie that is just kind of a big shrug, like a corporate product, but It just didn't really seem like my thing. I do enjoy the How to Train Your Dragon films a great deal, but the whole like shot for shot, we're just gonna make it quote unquote live action. That's pretty soulless to me. So what
Exactly.
wasn't something that I was gonna check out.
And I do feel bad because I actually did film a reaction. Like I covered the show in the podcast. Unfortunately, my mic was not working and my TV was taking the audio and it just sounded like
Oh,
absolute dog shit. So
what an episode to lose, though.
that is such an episode to lose to the Franks to the time. So we're gonna do like a mini version of the
Okay.
episode here. I couldn't have said it better myself. The fact that it was just scene by scene the same exact movie, like again, it's gonna make the masses happy. It's gonna get people like, yes, this tickles my lizard brain here, and there was areas that they actually did deviate and make it so it was interesting, but they really dropped the ball on it. For example, all of the Vikings in the city that they're in, they are all refugees from all over the area and they've come together and they're technically all from different tribes. And the Dragon Games is actually like a way that they test to see who's going to be the next chief. So that like was a big deal as well because everyone was saying like, you're the son of the chief and you're worthless. Like, you're not going to be able to step up and protect us. And Astrid was really like gunning to be the next chiefess, you might say, after Stoic. So I did like that aspect of it. But again, that was like one of the few things that was like, I don't even want to say different, but just added stakes. They, I believe the movie was PG-13, and it just doesn't seem like they took advantage of that at all. I think that they could have really pushed and made this movie at least like, because it's crazy to think that a live action How to Train Your Dragon and Avatar Fire and Ash are both the same rating.
Oh, you mean as far as like maturity?
Yes, like they're both PG, and if they would have done like the level of like destruction dragons were actually causing that was done in Avatar, like I would have loved that movie so much more. I would have like enjoyed, like I would have just if you are gonna do shot for shot, just do it, but make it more intense, make it the stakes higher, make it seem like the dragons are not.
Well, yeah. I mean, on that level, I agree with you. It's just the whole like we're gonna give you the same thing but remastered. It just feels really backwards to me, and so that's you're just saying like just if you're just literally this would the more different and distinct that they could make that the better for everyone involved, but that didn't seem to be their prerogative.
But here's the thing, like I know that there would have been so many people like it wasn't like the cartoon, it wasn't like the cartoon.
And unfortunately, those people can be really, really loud on the internet.
Exactly, and they really just set the tone. And so there'd be a lot of people like, well, it was bad because it wasn't like the other one. And the other one was so good. And so,
Yeah. I mean, I still think, an argument to be made that this is the dragon movie of 2025.
they all looked really good. The dragons in it looked incredible.
Yeah. So it seems to have the Detective Pikachu thing.
Yes.
Where you can just like take an edible and you're like, dragons, bro. Great time.
Yes.
And maybe that's enough for some people. But that's like the biggest, most successful, widely seen, overt dragon movie of the year. But I think that it's likely not the best.
No.
I say this as someone who didn't see it, but saw some other stuff that I think has more integrity and more substance to it.
Yeah. Well, that does bleed into this, does, because that's really all I wanted to say about the live action How to Train Your Dragon. I would love to just hear your pitch about a movie that you saw that I did not see that has a dragon in it, and that's Predator Badlands.
Right. Not a major aspect of the story, but I did take note that there are multiple dragons in the new Predator movie from Trachtenberg, I think is Dan Trachtenberg is the director. He did the previous Predator movie called Prey, which was kind of like a prequel that involved some native people that were in encountering a predator. And I liked that one, I would say, a little bit more. But the new Predator Badlands really gets into like the lore of the predator world and a little bit more about their society, which is kind of neat. I like that they're bringing a new angle to it. And essentially, it follows this young, somewhat underachieving predator that he's kind of on the verge of being banished from his clan. So he sets this really lofty ambition for himself to go and basically hunt down like the most dangerous creature in the universe, and so that he can like regain his honor. And one of the first creatures that he encounters when he lands on that world is there are these like tiny little dragons, kind of like pocket-sized little boys, like these little scavengers. And then you see what the internet refers to as a vulture dragon on the planet Genna. It clearly looks like a big old wyvern, like something out of Game of Thrones, but in the course of the movie, it does not end up being really that big of a threat to the predator. He's just kind of one in a series of beasts and various like obstacles that the predator has to face. But the action in the movie is really, really good. And it's got Dakota Fanning, and she plays an android character that I think is pretty fun. Their dynamic back and forth is enjoyable. I think you would like it. I think the fans of the show would enjoy it a great deal too if they didn't check it out.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those the Predator movies are some of the movies that I feel like if I really just sat down and really got to watching it, I would enjoy it. But
I mean, funny enough, knowing your taste, I actually think this is maybe one of the better entry points for you.
okay, well, maybe I will go check it out. Okay, well, also really quickly, as we discuss these, we will say whether or not that we're going to Austin, we are going to be able to nominate 2 films for what we consider to be the best dragon movie. It doesn't matter if we both vote for them or not. It's just
we each nominate 2 or we each nominate 1.
Well, we each nominate 2 because we need to then have a discussion on which.
Okay, yeah, because then I guess it would be I'd vote for mine and you would vote for yours. But I'm all caught up now.
But shockingly enough, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action version, will not be winning any of my nominations.
An embarrassment on their part.
Excuse me. And if you want to say if Predator is yours, you can say it. But if not, like you can wait to the end.
I mean, I'm looking at a list here and I see 2 others that I did prefer quite a bit more.
Okay. You also, I just want to quickly say this is a movie I actually probably will see, but I did not see. You had it on the list that saying that there was something of a dragon in it, and that's the 2025 Superman.
No, I mean that would be a major stretch, but there is a kaiju that breathes fire, like this big like lizard looking kaiju that spits lava. So that's kind of an outlier. That you could argue for, but I don't really think that it's quite cutting the mustard as a dragon movie. I just did want to make mention of that and say that I enjoyed the movie quite a bit.
Okay.
I think you'd like the new Superman.
We talked about this yesterday, actually. Superman is one of my, I don't want to say least favorite, but I've never been a big fan of Superman, even when I was in my superhero phase.
I mean, you're in luck then, because this Superman is concerned with being #relatable. That's part of the whole thing with it. And I think they strike a nice balance. He's a lot less of the Henry Cavill Man of Steel thing, where he's like, I'm a god, I cannot have associations with humans, like I am Jesus Christ. Like, no, none of that. That is all out the window. It's a lot more grounded and like approaching the Marvel thing, but not in a bad way.
Well, the next movie I want us to chat about, and this one came out more recently. I mean, this one came out earlier in 2025 than the other one. And if there's any other ones that I don't include, that you would like to include, by all means, you can bring them up. I'm not even saying nominate, but just want to bring them up on the podcast. But this one, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher it because I'm yet to say the movie's name correctly. Nezha 2?
Nominated. Nezha 2.
Nominated.
Nominate that shit.
Those of you that do not know about Nezha 2, if I understand it correctly, at this point in time, it is the number one. I think it's the number 3 most profitable film of all time or something like that, or it's in the top 5 at
It's
least.
in the top 5.
And it's a Chinese film that came out, and the
I legitimately have the figures in front of me
Let's
if
hear
you
it.
want those.
Yes.
So the reason you might not have heard of it is because worldwide, this movie made $2.15 billion. Domestically, made 23 million
Yeah.
here in the United States.
And
Bryce and I saw it.
Yeah, we went and saw it in theater. I was really excited to see it. And I will say though, you know this, and I think everybody on the podcast knows this, but I'm a dub guy. I need to like I can't do sub. So when we did go see it, it was a dub, and the dub is not that great.
Could be better. I'm not going to say awful, but we're talking about like a C plus B minus kind of quality. And there are instances where it's just totally off.
And also with this movie, there is a lot of background knowledge that you need to have before this. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. Like, I probably will do an episode on Nezha eventually, but just to give an idea of like what Nezha is, a animated fantasy adventure film directed and written by Jazzy. The animated production is directed by its own Coco cartoon. It is featuring a popular Chinese mythological character, Nezha, and the plot is loosely based on the 16th century novel Investitude of the Gods by Zhe Jinglong. So again, it's very much, I think you said it best. When we were in there, it's probably what our grandparents feel like going to the Avengers movies. Like,
yeah, and they're like, this person's good and this person's bad, I guess. And then like you understand that this magical artifact has some significance in all of it, but really you're there as a uncultured American to experience some incredible action and some of the most beautiful animation I've ever seen rendered.
Easily best animated film of the year for me.
I don't feel like I've seen quite enough to like proclaim that, but it's got to be up there. Just certainly one of the most expensive looking movies I've ever seen. And as far as think like the Return of the King, just like armies of bodies slamming into each other and waging war. This movie like takes that element and sort of elevates the element. It's kind of amazing.
And there's, I think, 5 dragons in the movie.
At least, yes, it is overtly a dragon movie.
Yes. Well, they're not called dragons.
Are the honored guests?
No, they're not the honored guests. That's what movie?
Dragon Keeper.
Dragon Keeper. No, they are.
I know, I was joking, but I don't recall. What did they?
I think they're called the Zhang.
Okay.
Because I think that's like the actual Chinese name for dragons.
Oh, and I gotta say, while we're talking Nezha, it's because it's like Wu Lang is the older guy. The Langs. Yeah, okay. That's the older guy, and his dragon form is like this like ancient, like bony sort of texture to it, and I was really feeling that whole aesthetic they had going.
Yeah.
But this on top of the fact that it's just beautifully animated, really bulletproof stuff. Other than the lip sync doesn't always match.
I am going to watch Nezhang, the first one, and then go watch Nezhang 2 again to discuss on the podcast, and I'll be doing episodes about it. But honestly, like, I really recommend, and I'm also going to nominate Nezha 2 for this. It's very interesting, like their magic system that they have. Like, I know we have a very limited understanding if you just watch that. Like, there's really no weak links other than the dub, which it's
an us problem.
It's an us problem. It's not, it's because we're uncultured Americans.
Yeah, we just don't speak the original language. So what we're gonna blame other like English movies for not having good dubs in other languages? That's ridiculous.
And since I've already seen it, I might actually watch it in sub the second time around, since
it might be a different experience.
Yeah, since I've already got that. But yeah, the next, is there anything else you want to say about Nezha?
It's great. Check it out. Probably not for young children though. I'll say that.
I mean, if you're comfortable showing your kids like Endgame,
sure.
Like, I think it's on the same level.
Yeah. But where it's kind of cartoony there, and he looks like a pirate there. It for a second it sort of reads like it's for like 8-year-olds, and I think it's maybe a bit past that.
Oh no, like there's a point where they're like trapped in like artificially created hell and they're like getting tortured
And then cannibalism
yes,
a little bit.
and then cannibalism.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Really weird stuff, but it's so good.
I actually kind of enjoyed its sense of humor once I got used to it.
Yeah. Like you can definitely see the cultural differences in that
No doubt.
in the film, but at the same time I walked away happy.
Enjoyed myself as well.
The last movie actually the last movie I have on my list here that we saw very recently, and it's a movie that is also going to make $1 billion. It's not. I think they're up to like 800 million at this point in time. And
761 million as of recording.
Avatar Fire and Ash.
And what a more Big Lizzy name subtitle than Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
Bring it.
And like, it's good. I want to first preface that it's so good visually. I think you said it best when we were driving back from the movie theater. You go to a James Cameron film movie to see what the most legendary, like you go there to see what toys they're coming out with, because like
right, it's you go and see the new Avatar movie and you know that you're looking at the best special effects ever. The new standard has been set by this movie. And I saw some people complaining that they're like, because the way they introduced the water element with the 3D in Way of Water was so exciting and new to people that I think that just really wowed people. But there's an elevation even between Way of Water to Fire and Ash, I think. You look at the way they animate the holograms and just they get the way they can get real depth in a lot of these shots on top of just like any given shot is wonderfully immersive and like perfectly rendered. So it's a technical marvel on that level. And that gets me really excited. On top of like just I think the characters are fun. I think it's a very weird thing that James Cameron has going on here. And I'm excited by it. I enjoy the Avatar movies, although I'm not like fanatical about them.
No, I think they're easily some of the most fun movies to come out in the 21st century. My friend Liam, growing up, he did not like Avatar because James Cameron apparently said on record that he was doing Avatar to like directly attack Star Wars and that he wanted to make something better than Star Wars. And
James Cameron declares war on Star Wars circa 2007.
Exactly. And my friend never forgave him to his dying day. But I will say something that I think I'm struggling, and I've been trying to find the best way to put it into words, and I think this is actually the best way that I've found. What I don't like about Avatar Fire and Ash is it's suffering from a little bit of a similar problem that the Marvel Captain America Winter Soldier is suffering from. Now, mind you, Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel movie. Like, I can confidently say that there is not a single Marvel movie that I love more than Winter Soldier.
However, do worse.
Winter Soldier, like how much is the Winter Soldier actually in Captain America Winter Soldier? He's not in it that much. He's not even really the main antagonist. Like Hydra is. The fact that Hydra is still in existence and like has embedded itself in the government, like that's the actual villain and actually what's going on. And yes, the Fire Na'vi that are like the Banshee people, like they are a part and they're like a big tie. But and again, I made this joke to you, but the movie should have just been called Avatar Way of More Water. Like that's really what it should have been, because it really did feel like they're like, oh, they're bringing 5 ships now to come and take the whales, but they've got Na'vi with guns over here now. And we also did, and again, not to rehash conversations we have had off the podcast, but I really think if this, what's his name? Lane,
Quaritch.
If they should,
the best character.
He is the best character,
other than, of course, Payakan, the Tolkun.
Tomato.
Like, yeah, right.
Together.
But that's what I need. I need Quaritch to get his like shadow Tolkun bond in the 4th or 5th movie. Him and Varang, dude.
Well, and again, like to me, like I hate that they killed him in the first movie. Now, again, they like we can possibly say that James Cameron didn't know what Avatar was going to be today, but what it was. But it just seems really. I feel like with especially with what the messages are in the movie and what it keeps portraying, is that it would have made so much more sense if Jake Sully would have spared Lang.
Yeah, and we had a conversation essentially because it's so exciting to me how they're creating this character with Quaritch that mirrors the story of Jake Sully. Because
Yes.
now Quaritch, like he's in the Na'vi body, but he's still trying to cling to his human side, and it's such a weird circumstance that character finds himself in, and I think that the movie actually does spend more attention and time on that than you would expect from most stuff that's like at this budget level.
Yeah.
And to me, that just got really, really exciting. But I still do kind of agree with you that like even within creating this mirror between the Colonel and Jake Sully. Hello, Phoebe. We have Miss Vivian the pug visiting here. Hello. Say hello to the good people. Hello. All right. Even within that, it feels like there could have been sort of a beat where the Colonel chooses to like re-enter the Na'vi body so that he can get his revenge on Jake Sully rather than that decision sort of being made for him. I feel like it's kind of a minor hang up in the grand scheme of things though, because everything you're saying, I'm like, I hear you. And if that bothers you, I'm sorry because it doesn't bother me. I'm having a great time with Avatar, dude. These movies sort of play by different rules to me because they set different rules for themselves. They're just so different than anything else out there. I like the flavor, but the thing that I do think we need to say just above all else is like, if you're a fan of Avatar, you're going to like this third one. If you haven't been won over so far, this is not. It's like it doesn't have that new thing that you're talking about. It doesn't have like a new angle or like a really, really, really like fresh new reinvention for itself that's going to win over any new fans.
I will say, like, Quaritch is so fun of a character, and I really do actually love to see
him get a girlfriend.
Bro just got to get his dick wet. That's all it took, and he became a nicer guy. Like that's all it.
See, that's the actual funny thing is like when push comes to shove, he's actually like a super chill dude.
Yeah,
like he's got this whole military thing. But you think about it, like, he's not really one to raise his voice like that. Like, he kind of preserves his zen. So it's just to see him going through that experience of, like, going native, and he's, like, in a way, sort of taking to it better than Jake Sully was.
Yeah.
It's weird, and I love it.
Well, he was perfectly honest. Like, because that was the whole thing is, like, Jake Sully was hiding the fact that he was like part of the Sky People in the beginning,
yeah, but Quaritch shows up and he's like, "Here, y'all like guns? Me too."
Like again, the meme keeps popping up, and I have to point it out. It's the MAGA ex-military with his Filipino wife. Like that is what's going on.
It reflects our reality.
But again, like it's so fascinating to watch that because you can see that he's not only like he's obviously just I don't want to say mind controlled, but like brainwashed into like his military mindset of like this is the way, like I'm doing this for my people. But as he embrace it, and you did get a little bit of it in the second one, but this one I think it was more overt. Like the more he actually spent time with the Na'vi, like how Jake Sully did in the first one, the more he started like he straight up showed up to a war council in war paint. Like
mm-hmm.
like
and see, these are the reasons why, like, I want them to keep going. And I hope that they keep going with these characters. And I think that, and again, like you say, that you're sort of peeved that the movie, it was just like Way of Water Part 2. Like, I'm totally fine with that because to me, this is the exciting aspect is basically this is the most expensive TV show being made today. The movies are basically structured that way. Anyway, it feels like watching 4 back-to-back episodes of streaming, but kind of in a good way, in like a way that our brains are trained for these days. And the characters are for the most part, really, really solid. And so as long as you have all that locked in and the special effects keep staying this good, I enjoyed it. I hope it keeps going. Now, what does all this have to do with dragons is the follow-up question.
So I do want to just, I mean, they ride their banshees. The banshees are their dragons, and Tile Muck or whatever.
Now you're Torok.
Yeah, like
because he becomes Torok Makto.
Yes, Torok Makto. Or is Torok Makto his name, or is that the actual creature?
I think the Torok is the like giant flying banshee that he mounts, and I think he becomes Torok Makto when he mounts it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, and again, those are the dragons. Those are the big flying lizards.
I could be wrong. Like, I'm not that like firm on Avatar lore, but
I'm sure someone will let us know.
Please do.
But one comment I do just want to make before we actually dive into this being a dragon movie and such. One movie series that I can point to that reuses the villain and it's still compelling in each version of the movie and it still makes a lot of sense is Harry Potter. Voldemort is technically the villain of every single one of the movies, but they do it in a way that it's exciting every time and it's not like a Marvel movie where it's a brand new villain each time. And there's at least some writing aspects on how it makes sense that it's Voldemort in every single one of the movies. And
except Prisoner of Azkaban.
Technically he is the villain of that one, but
yeah, operating from the shadows of the shadows.
Exactly. The reason that Peter Pettigrew, who's the villain technically of the movie, is a villain because he's the one who betrayed everybody. But
that clarified.
Tomato. But I wish that they would at least put some sort, because, and again, like I hear what you're saying, but when I try to think of a story, like I want, even if it is going to be like a quick insert of like, oh yeah, he transferred over his memories into this clone, bada boop bop bam. Like it just, in the second one, it felt just so, like, I'm pretty sure the scene was not even 10 minutes where it's discussing that. Like
yeah, but I also do think that is true to the character of Quaritch, where he's got that like weird go with the flow, like he accepts his orders.
Yeah. I think this is just something.
But I also do think that James Cameron recognized that was like kind of a weird angle that he was throwing at the audience. And maybe the way to make that go down easier was just to not dwell on it.
Yeah. Well, so this is again, we can move on after this, but I'm going to do my famous thing where I take a movie and I rewrite it in the way that I would be doing it.
It's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. What I would have done at the end of the first one, I would have had it that Neytiri takes an arrow, severs his spinal column so that he's paralyzed just like Jake Sully is, and then she goes to shoot him again like she goes to, but Jake stops him and just like, no, stop, he's no longer a threat to us. Like, because I think that one, it just shows that Jake's not about killing and all of that, he's about just saving the Na'vi, and he sees that he's no longer a threat. And then the second movie, we have Carmella as the villain as the entire time, because I'm sorry, when I see her as the general, I just see Carmella Soprano over here.
Just imagine, you're like, Quaritch.
Quaritch, you're over here wearing makeup. What the fuck are you wearing over here? And also the guy who
actually slinking off to sip her coffee and finish the remains of the day.
But also the guy that's like the mad, like the hunter of the whales. Like, I think those two would have been fine for what they were doing in that film. In the second one, again, I understand, but the third one, that's when they bring back the like, hey, for the past 10 years we've been working on, like, he's been trying to like reestablish himself, but he realized that there was no physical therapy that was going to be ever enough, so he decided to transfer his consciousness over. And also that sets it up because it's because of Ava or whatever their god is that Jake Sully transferred over to his body and is permanently in that body. And so that would also set up in the third one how Spider has the ability now to breathe air, that humans have the technology now to like be doing what Awa or whatever her name is has like doing. And like,
yeah, but then that becomes part of the conflict.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why Spider then becomes he's kind of the MacGuffin of the movie, even though he's a living, breathing character.
But it's more establishing because like just because they have him, just because he is doing it, there's a part of my brain like, okay, this is like an act of God. Like he essentially had an act of God come and take over, and they want to replicate that. Like, and again, like, sure, scientific accomplishment in this movie is supposedly gotten to a point where they can, but that where they're transferring the consciousness where only a god was able to do in the beginning would show that scientifically they're able to do what she's able to do.
Yeah, I see what you're saying is where like that would then create like a parallel in the themes is like the humans are trying to steal Awa's power.
Exactly.
And that could have been demonstrated if Quaritch had to make the choice to like enter the Na'vi body to keep up with his like vendetta against Jake Sully. But ultimately they didn't decide to do that. And also this movie, the last one was like 3 hours and 15 minutes, and this one's a little longer than that. So it might have like I wouldn't be surprised if these ideas did float around James Cameron's writing tables and they just didn't feel like they had space for it.
Yeah. That all being said, I am willing to nominate this.
I think that it is a dragon movie for all of the Banshees, the just sheer volume. And I would say that, yeah, this would get a nomination from me too. I think it really comes down to this and Nezha as the true best of dragon film.
Now, is there any other films that you want to at least just bring up? We don't necessarily need to dive into them, but is there any other films that you want to bring up?
Well, we got to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth.
Did not go see.
I didn't see it either because those movies are every single one gets worse than the last. Every single one. Not really my thing. People seem to like them, but that one featured Quetzalcoatlus, which were these like big giant birds, and also mutodons, which are like flying velociraptors. So kind of some big flying Lizzie adjacent stuff going on in that one. Deserved a shout out, I thought. Also, there was an animated Japanese film called Dragonheart: Adventures Beyond This World. Did not see it, and I cannot for the life of me discern whether or not it is connected to the other Dragonheart films or just also had that name. Because this one is spelled with a space between dragon and heart, but the Dragonheart movies have it one word.
I'm willing to bet then that it is its own thing.
Okay, but did not seem to make that big of a splash, but I thought it worth a mention. There's people, I haven't seen the Wicked movies, but people tell me that there's like a big clock with a dragon on it that's of some significance. So Wicked for Good. Maybe that was a secret dragon movie all along. And
I'm not going to watch it.
There's one more that I felt is worth mentioning in that it was a major missed opportunity for the biggest movie of the year to be a dragon movie. And that's because the Ender Dragon was kept from us in a Minecraft movie.
They have to have a sequel.
Now, yeah, I agree. I think that should be part of Mr. Black's negotiations for the sequel. I think he should ask for $500 million and the Ender Dragon must make an appearance.
And they'll give it to him.
And they'd be fools to turn it down.
Well, Austin.
I didn't see the Minecraft movie.
I didn't see it. No.
Okay, that's that.
Yeah.
I talked to a friend. They told me the Ender Dragon wasn't there, and that's how they were going to get my dollar.
It will be there, and once it is, I'm going to be contractually obligated to go and watch it.
But not until.
So that does give us down to Nezha 2 in Avatar: Fire and Ash between our two dragon movies of the year. And again, both very solid movies, both really enjoyable. Austin, between the two,
you're gonna make me go first?
Yeah, I think I am.
Oh, dear. See, what I really run up against is that I think of the two movies, I do prefer Avatar, but I think in the true spirit of what the best dragon movie is, I think the margin between those two is close enough, and Nezha 2 is more of an overt dragon movie, and more in the spirit of this podcast, I think I would give it to Nezha.
Okay. Here's the thing. I get completely what you're saying, and especially just how we said earlier, if you want to go see what the newest thing in just computer animation in general, or just...
There's a lot going on with Avatar, as there is with Nezha.
Yes.
But I think that just like brackets dragon is a bigger variable in Nezha than Avatar. It's almost an afterthought in the case of Avatar.
And I really did enjoy Nezha, especially not knowing anything about the universe. And I don't think I'm near as invested in what's going on in the lore of Avatar as I am in learning about the lore of Nezha. Because again, there's so many things going on. Every character has like level 20 D&D like player character energy. Like the guy who's able to shoot like 20 arrows at a single time, like he grabs an arrow and it just
Of
multiple-
course.
like amazing. So, and again, like the dragons really do look good, and they have like, yes, they're all the Chinese style, but they all have like, you have the muscular dragon, you have the small slender dragon, and then you have like the king dragon that's like the all powerful, so it gives that variety even though it's there. I Skulvaka Sven over here, Nezha 2 is 2020 dragon movie of the year.
Gotta be.
It's got to be.
I'm glad we're in agreement on it.
Now, there's just, I'm a big television fan. So
Right. So catch me up. I know you've been watching the Mighty Nine.
yes, which I do not know if there is a dragon in this one. I'm
Okay.
only 2 episodes in. I was streaming it. I tried to release it on YouTube on Monday and I got copyright struck immediately. So I'm trying to mess around with it and see if there's a way for me to actually
Engage with this really great show.
and this might be like I have to actually set up the Patreon officially, and that's how I get
Good. Hey,
it up there.
if there's demand.
Yeah, if there's demand. But there's 3 shows that I really, really liked this last year that had dragons in them, or like some form of a dragon or something dragon inspired. And all of the shows are technically animes, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was gonna throw to you for the world of anime.
But one of them is on Netflix rather than being a Crunchyroll. The other 2 are Crunchyroll shows. Now, they're just all so good for different reasons. I'm going to start off as the number 3. Like this one has the least amount like overt dragons, but I love the villain in it. I love what the show is doing. And it's called The Devil May Cry season 1 in Netflix. It's a show about demons that are essentially breaking over from hell. They're trying to escape hell because hell's collapsing, and so they're coming to Earth.
This sounds dope.
And
It's like Pacific Rim, but with demons instead of kaiju.
Exactly. And it's just so like there's so many things that's just so prevalent and so good, and I'm so excited to see what they do in season 2. But there's a lot of like demons that look dragonoid. They have wings. Some of them are big, scaly monsters. Again, no overt dragons, but still really good. My second one that I would put up there, which again, there's going to be a lot of people that are upset that I don't have this at number 1, but Solo Leveling season 2 came out this last year, and really was so good. Like season 1 was amazing. For those of you that are not familiar, Solo Leveling's about in a world of there's monsters that are coming into the real world and people are manifesting powers, but essentially the idea is if you manifest a power, your power is stuck there. You can't improve your power, yada yada. But there is one person who has found a way that he can level up, and he's the lowest level that was ever recorded, and by this point in the show he's the most powerful person in existence. Like, but he gets only stronger as they go, and so the animation, the fights are so amazing. He does have like a wyvern that, and also he has the ability, if he kills something, he has like a 50% chance of making them like their souls into one of his slaves, and it's like super bad. Yeah, his nickname is the Shadow King because like he raises their soul, and it like they manifest in a way, so he builds up this army of just all the people that he's killed.
Are we rooting for this man?
Here's the thing, like I am waiting. Like I have a feeling that we're going to be getting like a Walter White situation, because it seems like with every level he actually goes up, it's almost like a level of humanity that he loses. Because when he's almost like a Midoriya like character in the first episode when you meet him, and now he's almost just like, I've got to level up. I've got to level. Like he's literally just like lost all sense of.
He's kind of on a light Yagami trajectory here.
Yes. I think it's a lot more of a break. Walter White, because I feel like with Light he jumped off the deep end pretty quickly, while Walter at least had that slippery slope to Heisenberg at the end.
I get you. Yeah.
And you definitely see that.
Sounds like a cool show.
But my number one dragon TV show that a show that had a dragon in it that I really, really enjoy. And technically the first part of season 2 came out in 2024, but the remainder of it came out in 2025.
It counts.
Was Shangri-La Frontier. And essentially the idea of Shangri-La Frontier is, do you know about Let Me Solo Her in the Elden Ring universe?
Yes.
The guy who just is naked.
Yeah.
So this show is pretty much about him in a video game. Like there's a guy who's just this like he loves playing shit video games, like bugged video games, and that's all he does is play like the buggiest video games of all time. And so he gets an S tier level video game. Like Shangri-La is supposed to be like Skyrim and Elden Ring combined, and he's just like tearing the game apart because he's just so good at video games because he's used to games just being so bad. And it's just such a fun show because like it has epic fight scenes, and it's like, but at the same time there's a level of goofiness where you understand it is just a video game, and it's not like Sword Art Online where if you die in real life, if you die in the game, you die in real life. It's not that at all. There's like no serious stakes in it. So, and I know that I've talked to you that I don't like, I prefer the more darker shows, but the way that they set this up, it's really fun, and it's a really exciting game, and it also just makes for even better because like how they have it set up is like all the creatures, all the NPCs, the AI systems are so good that sometimes they have a hard time like discerning like if they're real or if they're not real. And I just really like that aspect of it. They're fighting monsters. There's a couple dragons that they fight. The dragons are pretty cool. The dragons are really minor. Eventually there's going to be a major dragon fight in the show, and we'll definitely talk about it when we get to there. But I really enjoy it, and if you haven't seen any 3 of these shows, I really encourage you to go and check it out. Like I said, Devil May Cry is on Netflix, Solo Leveling and Shangri-La Frontier is on Crunchyroll. Now, Austin, are there any shows that you watched this last year that came out in 2025 that had dragons in it? I'm assuming.
Nope.
Any TV shows?
I was hanging on, waiting for Stranger Things season 5. I'm like, if a big flying lizard shows up here, this will all be worth it. But
just the fact that I'll be forced to watch it.
But not yet. You still got the finale, whatever that's going to be like.
Any shows you will just want to talk about in general that you liked about 2025 or that you started and encourage people to watch?
TV, Pluribus, pretty cool. That's from the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So yeah, pretty well resourced, and that team is absolutely amazing. So enjoyed the first season of that quite a bit.
It's currently the #1 sci-fi fantasy show in the world right now.
It's easy to see why.
I haven't seen it myself. I might get around to it. I'm doing a rewatch of The Sopranos to get my live action show fix in right now.
And that's pretty hard to beat. We were talking how I feel overdue on that myself. Just one of the best shows.
But in a media sense, that's 2025, Austin.
I mean, if I can shout out a few other films
by all means,
I think would really suit your audience.
Oh, for sure. Well, and I mean, real quick, Austin does this is putting pressure on you to actually do the video now. Austin does a video just talking about his top films, his favorite movies. And as soon as that comes out, I will be sharing that. So be sure to go check that out when that does come out. But
yeah, that should be coming out in early January. I'll be talking about my favorite music and movies media of the year. So that's over on the Media Binge. Give me a follow. Instagram, YouTube, main 2 places. Hopefully a little more of that this year. I did not get around to as much of it in 2025 as I wanted to, but I have a million videos I would like to make.
We expect a million then.
But yeah, as far as other films that came out this year, I mean, I'm a big One Battle After Another guy. We saw that together. Very strange, singular movie, but I think that is the great film of the year. Look it up, see if it's for you, and if it doesn't sound like it, maybe stay away. But for fans of this podcast, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, pretty big one. Cool fantasy element, cool makeup effects, really big budget, exciting movie. A little more produced than I would like, but cool movie. I'm glad that I saw it. Also, the movie In the Lost Lands, I thought deserved a shout out. Have you heard about this?
I don't think so.
It's a adaptation of some material by George R.R. Martin, and it's a Paul W.S. Anderson movie. So it stars Mila Jovovich.
Naturally.
Yes, as all of his films seem to. But also Dave Bautista, who's amazing in everything. And it's set in like a fantasy world. It's like digitally rendered and kind of unusual aesthetic. Like it kind of has a video gamey quality to it that takes some getting used to. But in the fullness of it, I thought it was kind of a cool, underrated little thing. So not a perfect movie, but as far as something underseen that people who like the kind of content you cover may be into.
Yeah.
Yeah, In the Lost Lands, a little underrated. It's also it's got like magic and like wizards and werewolves. If any of those are really your vibe.
I mean, you know how much I love magic, wizards, and werewolves.
Yeah.
Werewolves are up there. They're probably like top at least 10 favorite fantasy creatures out there. They're pretty tight. So I'm going to say this right now, even though, yes, I do not want to take away from Nezha. This is Nezha's night. Nezha won the big Lizzie.
Hail Nezha too.
But I do think I can confidently say that my favorite movie of 2025 was the Frankenstein movie. And again, I know that you have some like, I know you just highlight it, but I also know that you prefer one battle after another. And then you also watched another movie recently that
I mean, Marty Supreme is just the best of times.
Yes.
But again, that's speaking to my sensibilities.
But I loved Frankenstein. Like it's one of those movies that I just felt like it never, like I didn't want it to end. Because I loved talking about Nosferatu with David Lightbringer.
Of course.
And I think that opened up the door to be able to talk about maybe.
Well, there was a Wolfman movie that came out this year too that most people seem to not really care for. But maybe we get into the whole lot of them. It seems kind of a new genre. I think Robert Eggers is going to do his own werewolf movie here before too long.
Yes, I think, isn't that what he's announced as his next project?
Yeah, but with the weird spelling like he did the bitch.
All right. Well, any other movies that you want to shout out or talk about before we?
No, I guess not. Not until the Odyssey comes out next year, right?
Well, I think this is a great time to talk about what we're looking forward to in 2026.
Well, okay, so Odyssey. I'm sure that's come up on this podcast a fair bit.
And I am confidently saying, we've talked about this and maybe you may not completely agree to it, but now I'm going to hold you to it, but we're going to talk about it on the podcast. We're going to go see it and we're going to talk about it because I'd be very shocked if Scylla is not in the Odyssey.
It's got to be represented somehow. And it's just a big question mark where Nolan's such a practical guy. Like, how are they going to represent this? I'm really excited.
Yes. So we'll talk about the Odyssey when it comes up. Another thing that is long been awaited is season 3 of House of the Dragon is coming back in 2026.
That's right. We're going to find out what those damn Targaryens are up to.
Yeah.
And that'll be great fun, kind of returning to the roots of this show.
This one's not going to have dragons in, like dragons proper, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to be coming out.
Right. It's kind of adjacent.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it on the podcast, but I'll at least check it out. What other things are going to be coming out in 2020?
You got the Magician's Nephew, new Narnia movie. Now, that's not till November of 2026. But that is the new Greta Gerwig joint. Expectations pretty high on that. Although, to my memory, not a dragon in that book. So, not sure.
Well, there is one in...
Because there was the third Narnia movie that has already come out of that original continuity had a dragon in it.
Yes.
But,
so I think that's the fourth one, the Dawn Treader.
Yes.
Like I know
Dawn Treader is the one that features a dragon the most to my memory.
Yeah.
But all the same, like, definitely in that fantasy zone. It feels like something that this podcast could potentially stretch for. And just because it's me and this is my special interest, I thought I should mention that Brandon Cronenberg, son of David Cronenberg, his new movie has gone into production under the title Dragons. So that seems like it's probably more of a space horror film and probably won't have anything to do with these scaly flyers, but keep an eye on it. I'm going to be checking it out because I like his stuff.
There's a film called Rise of the Dragons that I'm seeing is coming out. It's IMDb listed.
Is that a sequel to Rise of the Guardians? The Guardians of Gahul?
I don't know. It stars Michael Quissy, Gerard Coombe, Vince Murdocho, William Christopher Ford, Daryl Vidal.
I also realized that I just said Rise of the Guardians of Gahul, and didn't provide the context of, it's always amusing to me that those two movies came out so near each other that they blended in my mind, even though they're very different things.
See, I didn't even know. Cynthia Rothrock and Ron Van Cleef are the noted people in it.
Okay.
So that will be interesting. What else could be there? Well, okay,
a lot of sci-fi that I'm really excited about in 2026, I'll say. You got Project Hail Mary, that is a Andy Weir adaptation. I read that book. I think it could make a really great movie. Disclosure Day is another Spielberg E.T. movie that's coming out June 12th. And then also Gore Verbinski is one of my favorite directors. He made the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. He's got the first movie that he's made in like 10 years coming out in February called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. So, the more we talk here, the less we're really talking about dragons. But this is the kind of stuff I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be a great year.
There's The Hidden Dragon.
A Hidden Dragon.
It's directed by Rock Minkoff.
This is out or coming out?
November 20th of 2026. Dragon Striker is going to be a Disney Plus original animated series.
Wonderful.
There's going to be another Dragon Ball live action film coming out. Yeah, anything else you want to talk about for it?
That's what I got. Follow me on Letterboxd.
Yeah, Austin, where can they find you?
At The Media Binge, most platforms where I exist. My name's Austin.
Well, again, thank you so much for everybody that's come out, and thank you so much for spending the year 2025 with us here on Big Flying Lizard, the Dragon Movie and Television Podcast. It's been a really fun year.
Thanks for having me. I will say to you and to the Big Liz audience, always a pleasure.
The door is always open for you to come on and shoot the shit. And I'm really excited. I know that for the past couple of weeks, it's been off and on, but I'm excited for what I'm going to be able to do in 2026. We're going to be doing a lot more movies. We're going to be talking a lot more TV shows. Colby is going to be making a comeback for another couple episodes, and there might be some projects in the works there. So in the meantime, be safe out there. Enjoy your new year. Party hard, but do it responsibly. And don't forget to share. Don't forget to do all that shit. And good night.
That's all for this week's Dragon Lore. Takes cold and hot, spread shore to shore. Enjoyed yourself? Please join the squad. Follow on social media at Big Liz Pod. And one quick reminder before you go, to rate, review, and share the show. Thank you for listening. It means a lot. See you next week, same time, same spot.